Comes to Brexit, Justin, we've heard from Theresa May and Tony Blair today. Who do you lean forward and listen to, and who are you more inclined to switch off?
I think with regards to today, hi Eddie, by the way, it would be Tony Blair. I've always been taught by my father to be a tactical voter, as selfish as that may sound, but of a family of 2 young children, up until the Brexit or the referendum, I could not make a decision. In fact, I spent an hour outside the polling station deciding which way to go, listening to LBC, looking at various articles, and thought at the time the better would be to leave. We often say in life that hindsight's a great thing, or we look at a point in time in our life where I wish I made a different decision. Going back to being a tactical voter, I did once vote for Tony Blair. I was never given the opportunity to change that vote, but I do believe here we have. And to be able to have another vote, a people's vote, I do think is the right thing to do. I think in the last 30 months, we've had how many people who weren't eligible to vote because of their age, who probably can vote now, and I do think it was an age-centric decision to vote out. The country and the several thousand or hundreds of thousands of additional people that can vote deserve that opportunity.
I'm very interested, I don't know if you had a conversation with James earlier describing his thinking behind his leave vote, and he talked about wanting to lash out. He hated David Cameron. He wanted to protest against political correctness. That was very interesting to hear you. I just picture you sitting outside the polling station for an hour in the car, wrestling with your decision. What ultimately made you opt for leave? What was your motivation?
I'm in line with you with that caller. Was it Mike, you say?
James.
James, sorry. Pretty much the same reasons. Having decisions made for us outside of the country, so much red tape within the country. But it's apparent now that should we leave, that the powers that be can't negotiate anyway. I just think that the people are so much more aware of what leave means, and people may now vote to stay that voted leave, and vice versa. But I do think the seesaw has swung, and I do think that a further referendum will probably remain.
The thing is, though, if we keep giving voters the chance to change their minds when they make mistakes, we'll be constantly at polling stations. You'll never be home.
I thought that, and one thing, I sat down with some colleagues the other day, and we tried to work out how many people are born in the UK on average per year. But because this has dragged on for 30 months now, there are probably a large number of people, probably 6 figures, that are eligible to vote this time round, who have probably taken more of an interest at that age in politics of previous generations, and they now deserve an opportunity to vote for their future too.